my amazing learners, and welcome. My name is Sarah, and today I want you to listen very closely. What if I told you that everything you think you know about learning English might be holding you back? What if the struggle, the frustration, and the years of slow progress could be replaced by a simple, natural, and even enjoyable journey? Today, I'm not just going to give you tips. I'm going to share with you a complete mindset shift and a practical roadmap that will absolutely transform your path from being a hesitant learner to a confident, fluent English speaker. Let me start by telling you something right now, and I want you to let this sink in. English is not impossible. It is not nearly as difficult as your mind might be telling you it is. Yes, you can speak English fluently, and I promise you, with the right approach, you can do it much faster than you imagine. I know that feeling all too well, the nervous flutter in your stomach when it's your turn to speak. I know the hesitation, the way your mind searches for a word that you know, but it just won't come. Or worse, the silence, when you don't even try because the fear of making a mistake feels like a heavy weight on your shoulders. Maybe you've been learning for years. You've studied the grammar books, you've memorized lists of vocabulary, and when you read, it all makes sense. But the moment a conversation starts, your mind just freezes. I want you to know that I understand you completely, not just as a teacher, but because I have been there myself. I remember the frustration of hearing people speak so fast, their words blurring together, making me feel lost and left out. But today, my friends, that struggle can end. You don't have to feel stuck, afraid, or overwhelmed any longer. Because today, I'm going to guide you through learning English in the easiest, most natural way possible. I want you to start thinking of English not as a subject you study, but as a life you live. It's not something to be confined to textbooks. It's something you should hear, think in, and speak every single day. You can do this. And our journey begins with the most powerful tool you have, your mindset. Step 1. Believe that English is easy. The first and most crucial step is to fundamentally change how you see the language. If you walk around all day thinking, English is so difficult, I'll never get it, your brain will believe you. It will put up a wall and resist learning. But if you change that inner voice, if you start telling yourself, English is easy, and I am capable of learning it, your brain will open up. It will start to embrace the process. Let me tell you a secret. Mistakes are not just part of the I process. They are the only way to make progress. Do you remember when you learned to walk as a child? I'm sure you fell down dozens, maybe hundreds of times. But did you ever stop and think, well, I guess walking just isn't for me? Of course not. You got up, you wobbled, you tried again, and eventually, walking became second nature. Learning English works in exactly the same way. Stop focusing on being perfect. Perfection is an illusion that will only paralyze you. Instead, focus on practicing. If you are not making mistakes, it means you are not pushing yourself. And if you're not pushing yourself, you are not learning. So, right now, I want you to say this with me out loud. English is easy. I can speak English. I am learning every day. Say it again. Repeat it this morning, this afternoon, this evening. Write it down. Believe it. you will start to notice a powerful shift in how your brain responds to English. Your confidence will begin to bloom from this one simple belief. Step 2. Surround yourself with English. Now that your mindset is aligned for success, let's dive into the practical side. You need to immerse yourself in English every single day. Many people believe the myth that to speak fluently, you must live in an English-speaking country. I'm here to tell you that is absolutely not true. You can create a rich, immersive English-speaking environment right where you are, right now. You don't need an expensive plane ticket, and you don't need to quit your job. You simply need to start weaving English into the fabric of your daily routine. Here's how. First, change your phone's language to English. Think about how many times you look at your phone each day. Every time you unlock it, check a message, or scroll through social media, you'll be effortlessly reading and absorbing English. Next, start thinking in English. Most learners think in their native language and then translate, which makes speaking slow and awkward. We need to break that habit. Start small. As you go about your day, narrate it in your head in simple English. Okay, I am getting up now. The sun is shining through the window. I need to go to the bathroom and brush my teeth. I feel a little hungry. I think I will make some coffee. It feels simple, but this is a profound exercise that retrains your brain to form thoughts directly in English. Then, talk to yourself in English. Yes, you heard me right. Stand in front of a mirror and have a simple conversation. This is one of the best ways to practice speaking without any fear of judgment. Ask yourself questions and answer them aloud. So, Sarah, what are your plans for today? Well, first I need to finish this report, and then I want to go for a walk. This helps with fluency, pronunciation, and confidence all at once. Finally, a fun little trick. Label everything in your house in English. I did this when I was learning a new language, and it was so effective. Get some small sticky notes and a pen. Write refrigerator, microwave, bookshelf, mirror. Stick them everywhere. Every time you see an object, say the word out loud. I remember I once accidentally mixed up the labels for salt and sugar. My morning coffee tasted horrible, but I can promise you I have never forgotten those 2 words since. These small, playful changes make English a living part of your home. Step 3. Stop worrying about grammar. Let's address the one giant monster that stops so many people: grammar. Many learners believe they need to master every grammar rule before they can even try to speak. Let me be very clear. This is a huge mistake. If you focus too much on grammar, you will always be thinking, is this the right tense? Do I need an article here? Is this preposition correct? This constant analysis creates fear. And if you are afraid of making mistakes, you will never speak with confidence. Think about how children learn their native language. They don't sit down with grammar textbooks. They listen, they absorb, they repeat, and they start speaking in simple, often grammatically incorrect sentences. I go store instead of I am going to the store. But are they understood? Yes. The grammar gets refined over time through more listening and practice. That is exactly how you should learn. Focus on communication first and perfection later. Start with simple sentence patterns. I am eating. She is reading. They are playing. Repeat them. Use them. The complex structures will start to feel natural over time, I promise. Your goal is to be understood, not to be a grammar professor. Step 4. Speak English in your daily life. Now that we've built our English environment, it's time to actively use it. Every single action you take during the day is an opportunity to practice. When you wake up, instead of thinking in your native language, say aloud, "Good morning, I feel great today." Time to start the day. When you're in the kitchen, describe what you're doing. I'm boiling some water. I'm making a cup of tea. This tea smells wonderful. When you're at a shop, even if you just practice in your head, think, "Excuse me, how much is this? Do you have this in a different color?" Start having simple, low-stakes conversations. With a friend, you can start with, "Hey, how's it going? Want to hang out today?" Don't worry if it's not perfect. Just keep the conversation moving. Every conversation, no matter how small, is a victory. Step 5. Boost your pronunciation and confidence. Here's one of the most powerful secrets to sounding more fluent. Listen and repeat. When you hear a native speaker say a sentence, don't just try to understand the meaning. Listen to the music of the sentence. Then pause the audio and say it out loud yourself. Copy the pronunciation, copy the tone, copy the rhythm. Another key tip is to speak slowly and clearly. Many learners think that speaking fast makes them sound fluent. It doesn't. It usually just makes them harder to understand. When you speak slowly, you give your mouth time to form the sounds correctly, and you give your listener time to process your words. Clarity is confidence. And try recording your voice. I know most of us hate the sound of our own voice, but this is an incredibly valuable tool. Record yourself reading a short paragraph. Then listen back and compare it to a native speaker reading the same text. You'll instantly hear the areas where you can improve. Consistently doing this will transform both your pronunciation and your confidence. Step 6. Overcome fear and hesitation. Let's talk directly about fear. It's the biggest obstacle, but it's just a feeling, and feelings can be managed. I want you to adopt the 3-second rule. When you are in a situation where you have an opportunity to speak English, you have 3 seconds. Don't overthink. Don't plan the perfect sentence. Just open your mouth and say something. Hello? Excuse me? That's interesting. The more you do this, the more you break the habit of hesitation and build the habit of action. Remember, even native speakers make mistakes. It's a natural part of communication. Step 7. Think in English. Finally, this is the ultimate goal that ties everything together. Thinking directly in English. As I mentioned, this starts with narrating your day in your head. Look around you right now. Name the things you see in English. Laptop, lamp, cup, book. Then form simple sentences. My laptop is on the desk. The lamp is bright. This cup is full of water. The more you practice this internally, the less you will need to translate. Speaking will become a natural extension of your thoughts. And that, my friends, is the true definition of fluency. So, my amazing students, you now have the complete toolkit. The only thing standing between you and your goal is the habit of fear, but you now know how to overcome it. Keep practicing, keep listening, keep thinking in English, and you will unlock the confident speaker that is already inside you. Now let's zoom in on something incredibly important for building that confidence. Pronunciation. You can know thousands of words, but if your pronunciation isn't clear, you'll struggle to be understood, which can be so discouraging. But I want to be clear. The goal is not to eliminate your accent. Your accent is part of who you are. The goal is clarity and confidence. These next steps will help you become a clearer, more confident English speaker. Pronunciation. Part 1. Listen and imitate. As we said before, listening is the foundation. But let's get more specific. Find a short audio clip, maybe a 1-minute news report or a segment from a podcast you enjoy. First, just listen. Then get a transcript of the audio. Listen again while reading the transcript. Pay attention to how the speaker links words together, where their voice goes up and down. Finally, read the transcript out loud yourself, trying to mimic the speaker as closely as possible. This active imitation is a workout for your mouth. Pronunciation. Part 2. Speak slowly and clearly. I want to emphasize this again. When you rush, you tend to drop the ends of words and your sounds become muddy. Slow down. Focus on articulating each word. Think of it like this. Every word deserves to be heard properly. Practice this by reading a paragraph from a book. Read it once at your normal speed. Then, read it again at half that speed, focusing on enunciating every single consonant. You will feel the difference in your mouth. Pronunciation. Part 3. Focus on problem sounds. Every language has unique sounds, and English has a few that are tricky for many learners. Identify your problem sounds. For many, it's the th sound, as in think and this. To practice, stick your tongue slightly between your teeth and blow air. It feels strange, but it's the right motion. Practice words like think, this, that, through. Another common one is the difference between L and R. For the L sound, like in lake, the tip of your tongue should touch the roof of your mouth right behind your top teeth. For the R sound, like in rake, the tongue pulls back and tenses, but it doesn't touch anything. Practice pairs of words: lake, rake, light, right, long, wrong. Spend extra time on these. It's like doing a special exercise at the gym for a muscle that needs more work. Pronunciation. Part 4. Use tongue twisters. This might sound like a children's game, but it's an advanced workout for your mouth. Tongue twisters force you to move between difficult sounds quickly and accurately. Start slowly with a classic one. She sells seashells by the seashore. Say it slowly 10 times, making sure every S and ash sound is clear. Then, try to speed up. Another good one is, Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. This is fantastic for the P sound. Don't worry if you sound silly at first, I certainly did, but it builds incredible flexibility. Pronunciation. Part 5. Practice. Stress and intonation. English is a stress-timed language. This means in a sentence, some words are stressed more than others, creating a rhythm. Usually the important content words, nouns, main verbs, adjectives, are stressed. For example, in the sentence, I want to go to the store, the words go and store get the stress. The little words in between are said quickly. Practice by taking a simple sentence and clapping on the stressed words. This will help you feel the natural rhythm of English. Pronunciation. Part 6. Record yourself. I'll say it one last time because it is the most powerful feedback tool you have. Record yourself speaking for 1 minute. Listen back with a critical but kind ear. Don't just think, oh, that sounds bad. Ask specific questions. Is my R sound clear? Am I dropping the S at the end of my words? Does my intonation go up at the end of a question? This self-assessment will guide your practice more effectively than anything else. All right, now that we're building confidence in our speaking and clarity in our pronunciation, let's talk about the fuel for our conversations: vocabulary. Building a strong vocabulary is what allows you to express your unique thoughts and personality. I know it can feel overwhelming, like an endless ocean of words. But you don't need to learn every word in the dictionary. You just need the right strategies to learn and, most importantly, use new words effectively. Vocabulary. Part 1. Read every day. Actively reading is the most natural way to discover new words. But don't just read passively. Read with a pen or a highlighter. When you come across a new word, don't just skip it. Underline it. Try to guess its meaning from the context first. Then, look it up. But don't stop there. Write the word and a simple definition down in a notebook. Then, and this is the most important part, write your own sentence using that new word. This active engagement is what moves a word from your short-term to your long-term memory. Vocabulary. Part 2. Use flashcards, the smart way. Flashcards are a classic for a reason, but we can make them even better. On one side of the card, write the new word. On the other side, don't just write the definition. Write 3 things. A simple definition, a synonym, and the sentence you created for it. For example, for the word serendipity, one side says serendipity. The other side says meaning a happy accident. Synonym, chance, luck. My sentence: finding that wonderful little cafe was pure serendipity. Reviewing these cards regularly will burn the words into your memory. Vocabulary. Part 3. Learn words in thematic groups. Our brains love to make connections. It's much easier to remember words when they are grouped by a theme rather than as a random list. So 1 week you might focus on emotions: joyful, frustrated, content, anxious. The next week, focus on business vocabulary: negotiation, contract, proposal, deadline. When you learn words in context with each other, you're not just memorizing words. You're building a mental map of a topic, which makes it much easier to recall them in a conversation about that topic. Vocabulary. Part 4. Use new words. Immediately, once you learn a new word, you have a small window of opportunity to make it your own. Your mission is to use that new word in a real conversation within 24 hours. This might feel scary, but it's the ultimate way to learn. Tell a friend, I learned a magnificent new word today. Even if the conversation is about the word itself, you are using it. The more you practice this, the more you signal to your brain that this new vocabulary is useful and should be kept. Vocabulary. Part 5. learn synonyms and antonyms. This is a fantastic way to level up your speaking. Instead of just saying good all the time, you could say excellent, fantastic, wonderful, or superb. Learning synonyms gives your speaking color and precision. For every new adjective or verb you learn, look up 1 or 2 synonyms. This simple habit will dramatically expand your expressive power. Vocabulary Part 6. Engage in real conversations. This is the final and most important step. All the reading, flashcards, and lists are just preparation for the main event. Conversation. Find opportunities to speak. It could be with a language partner, a friend, or even just by joining online communities. The more you speak, the more you'll be forced to reach for the new words you've learned. It's in the act of using the words that they truly become yours. Expanding your vocabulary is a marathon, not a sprint. But by making it a daily habit of active reading, smart reviewing, and brave speaking, you will build an amazing vocabulary that allows you to express exactly who you are. So, as we wrap up our journey today, I want you to remember the 3 core pillars of what we've discussed. First, it all begins with your mindset. You must believe that English is easy and that you are capable of learning it. Second, it's about immersion and daily practice, weaving English into the fabric of your life so it becomes a natural habit, not a chore. And third, it's about focused skill building, actively working on your pronunciation for clarity and your vocabulary for expression. My challenge to you this week is simple but powerful. I want you to choose just one technique from this entire session. Just one. Maybe it's the 3-second rule. Maybe it's labeling the items in your kitchen. Or maybe it's learning one tongue twister. Commit to practicing that one single thing for the next 7 days. Then, come back to this video and share your experience in the comments below. Tell us what you tried and how it felt. Please like, share, and subscribe to the Wisdom English podcast channel to watch our next videos. Thank you for spending this time with me today. Remember, this is a journey of small, consistent steps. Keep practicing, keep speaking, and keep being brave. You have everything you need to succeed.